if you already have the tools prepped, you know what you're getting into, everything's ready. This is easily a 25-minute or less job. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Today's focus is going to be on the 2011 Ford Edge. Customer stated that driving and everything, not a big deal. Go ahead and be in park or sitting and idling for over a couple minutes, and it tends to want to overheat. So upon further investigation, the radiator fans are not turning on. It's not the relay. So I wired them direct to a power source, and they were not turning on. I took an old set of fans, did the same thing, they worked. So we established that the fans needed replaced. They now have the fan, dropped off the car, so we're going to show you how to get that swapped out. Now that the vehicle is in the garage, we're going to go ahead and start with the process. We're going to go ahead and pop the hood and see what we got to work with. Okay, our first point of attack, we're going to have to get some room. Right here's the radiator fans. It is a tight fit, so we're going to have to create some room. Go ahead and start unbolting the intake, clear out a little bit of room there. First place you're going to want to do, pop off this little thing right here that helps secure the MAF sensor. Reach up underneath it. You're going to have this red tab. Pull that tab out because that just prevents it from pushing down. But once you pull that red tab out, unplug it like that. Next to your air box, we're going to get a 8mm. Unscrew this hose clamp over here for your intake. Don't have to undo it a lot, just take some tension off that. Right on the side, right here, right in the front, one, and then there's going to be one in the back corner, two. Those are just little clips that hold on your air box. And then you got these pieces that you take out of the little slots. Go ahead and put that off to the side so you got a little working room. I'm going to remove the whole lower portion of this, so pull out your filter. I guess now if you wanted to replace it, now's a good time to do so. That same 8mm, you're going to have one, two. Take those out. Now that this is loose, the rest should just pull right out of there. It's going to be kind of difficult. You'll see what I mean. There's like little rubber grommets down there that's just holding in these little plastic pin parts that's molded to this. Okay, just like that. Good tug. Right here's the little things that go into rubber grommets down there. To help maximize our room as much as possible, we're going to take this like foam rubber engine cover off. I apologize for the angle if it's bad. I'm trying to find a good spot for you guys. So now that this is off, we're just gonna, like I said, continue to try making some work room. This was your MAF sensor. We can put that off to the side for now. Your radiator hose, it's kind of inside this, so we can find a way to kind of get that out of the way. Put it around that oil cap. This wire harness, that's also going to just push in. There's little plastic pins that go inside the holes. That's going to just help secure this wire harness. You're going to walk around and find out where they all are. Right over here is another sensor, right where I'm pointing at. Push that and unclip it. Pretty simple. The more of these that you take off, the better it's going to be. Because you want this harness to be able to flex and move completely out of the way as much as possible. We're now over here on the other side, right where the camera was sitting. Again, wire harness. Now we're over here. Got one more we could pop out of there. All right, there it is. So this is that one that was right here. Now we got this plug goes to the module for the fans. Again, just you'll find a little push tab point. Go ahead and push it and unplug it. Right here's the little push tab. I see a little red safety block on there. If you gotta adjust with that, then you can, but it seems like I didn't need to even mess with that. All right, so once that's off, let me go ahead and reposition you. All right, again, as far as trying to create as much room as possible, wire harness this hose. It's your air conditioning hose. You can be a little aggressive with it, but just don't be overkill on it. I'm gonna kind of zip tie this out of the way. I got this reusable one. These just kind of wrap around. You find how tight you want it and you lock it in here. These come in handy quite a bit. I've had this same one for, oh man, God knows how long. Plus they come in packs, so if you break it, just get another one. Okay, out of the way. Everything's still loose, still, you know, moving just fine. All right, next with your 8mm, you're gonna see one bolt right there, and then right on the other side, I don't have my light, but it's gonna be mirrored. It's gonna be somewhere over there. You're gonna see the little ear with one bolt on. I believe if this is like most of them, you're just gonna have the top 2 or 3 bolts, and then it's got little slots and tongues down at the bottom part, so it kind of slides in there, and then the top pivots on, and that's what you're just holding it in place with those couple bolts. So go ahead and take your 8mm, get that one, then go on the other side, remove that one. I'm going to apologize in advance if the angle's off. So now that we got the top 2 done, the wire harness out of the way, the module unplugged, you pull up just ever so slightly and pull out, and then you should be able to fish it out. Like that. This tab right here, this tab right here on this portion is underneath the inlet for the radiator hose. You're gonna have, it goes up under it, so you're gonna have to pull this side out and just fish it up the same way I did, but definitely doable. Okay, here's the new one. It's the old one. Again, parts provided by 1A Auto. I always go through them if I can't buy it direct, like OEM, or I wanted to go a little bit cheaper but still have OEM or OEM plus quality, then I'll definitely go through 1AAuto.com. You can't beat the price. Never had any issue with their products. If I got it, put it in a vehicle, it outlasted the vehicle. So I will forever use 1A Auto. Here's the new fan. What you'd expect. Shiny, clean. Match up your plugs. Plugs look the same. Alright, so we'll go ahead and drop this one in there and reverse the steps you did just to take it out. right, once you have that done, it's in there, secure. You got two little ear tabs right up on top right here. They sit right on top of the radiator. You'll see the, the little lip that it grabs. It's all even, it ain't going nowhere. Pull it, move it around a little bit, make sure it's just in its spot. And these ears that you took those two bolts off of, it's all flat up against this mating surface. So it is, we're good to go. Again, those little bolts that you took out, put those back in. All right, once those are tight, you'll plug that big clip back in into your module. Make sure it's going the right way. Push it until you hear or feel the little snap for the plug. Not a bad snap. Remove your cable tie so we can reapply the wire harness. Go back through, push it through all your little mounting holes. While you're over here, don't forget this sensor that you unplugged. Remember, don't freak out. This was to your intake tube, your MAF sensor. We'll plug that in just a moment. Pull this radiator hose from around your oil cap. Put it back in its little resting spot. Make sure there's no kinks. Good to go. Now we'll put the air box back in. Keep in mind, these little tabs right here, those go in your little rubber grommets. You'll see it. Just line it all up. Like so. Push it down. Now your two 8mm bolts on your top. Your air filter, again, now's the time to replace it if you're wanting to. And then these three grooves right here go in that slot, and then your little clips that come up and lock it on. Apply your hose right over the opening for your air box. 8mm, tighten that hose clamp back. Reapply your MAF sensor. It plugs in only one way. Again, till you feel it seated, hear it, or feel it clip. Don't forget your engine cover you took off. Never hurts to go through your work. Right down there, got the bolt on both of the tabs. The radiator fans are seated exactly where they should be. All the mounts for the wire harness are right back where they were. MAF sensor plugged in, not loose. Same with the module for the fans. Motor cover on, air intake box put in, air filter on right, hose clamp. I say we're good to go. Now we'll start it and let it idle until we hear the fans turn on. Hopefully they do, right? All right, so sorry if you can't hear me. Car's running. If you can, good. But what's more important than hearing me is the fans running. They are running. They're working just like they should. So I say a job well done. Go ahead and shut it off. Okay, vehicle's off. Like I said, everything works like it should, so that's perfect. And we're gonna go ahead and sweep off or use the shop vac and get these leaves and stuff like that off, and kind of probably hit it with the pressure washer, clean it up for the customer. But so as far as the tools needed, this right here, I use this as the trim panel tool. This was easy to get help in some situations for the wire harness, those little plugs, you'll see those. So trim panel tool, again, the reusable zip tie or a spare zip tie if you have that laying around. Just when you go to cut it off, just be mindful where you're cutting. Don't cut the hose or the wire harness. An extension, this is all quarter drive that I used. An extension just in case you need to get to a spot. 8 millimeter socket, and I used an impact for a couple things, but basically just four tools is all you really needed, if that. And I was able to get the job done. Even with camcording, setting up a camera, trying to find the right angle, trying to find the tools, everything that I went through to make this video, honestly, the entire job up until this point that I'm talking to you, it's probably been maybe 25 minutes. So I'm sure if you already have the tools prepped, you know what you're getting into, everything's ready. This is easily a 25-minute or less job. And again, you really want to change that if that's the problem. I'm not saying it's the only fix to an overheating issue, but for this particular case, that's what the problem was. The fans were not working. So that's about it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it helps you out, or somebody, if there's somebody else that's looking for advice or looking for a how-to on just swapping the fans, or any other how-tos that's on my video, please feel free to search my channel and help yourself to it. Any questions, comments, concerns, any tips, anything like that, like usual, please post them down in the comments below. This isn't just for me, although I will learn from it, and I love hearing about what you guys go through or what you figured out, what's easier, what not to do maybe. I love hearing that just as much as the next person, but we're all in this together. The comment section will help fill out any voids if there is any. So I really appreciate the view, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.